What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Fantasy Football Fever episode 2. Last episode was a pretty big success. I had a good time with my old friend Shane Blindberg, fantasy football expert from New York. And now we have another fantasy football expert. I'm talking about the one, the only, Andrew Brown, coming from Durham, North Carolina. Andrew, how you doing today, man?
Doing great, Jake. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, no problem, no problem. I'm really glad to, finally get something together with you. Andrew and I have been, talking for the past couple of years about doing a show together, and finally, we got it. So I'm very excited for this episode. We got a lot for you guys today. We're doing some mock drafts because today is Monday, or we're recording this on Monday. So it's Mock Draft Monday here on Fantasy Football Fever. We got 2 mock drafts for you. We're going to be doing a 12-team, 1 quarterback PPR startup draft. And we are also doing a 12-team, 1 quarterback PPR Dynasty rookie draft. And so we'll do the startup draft first. We'll talk about it a little bit, and then we'll dive into that rookie draft. So if you guys are just here for Dynasty, I'll have a timestamp where you guys can skip to and then go to the rookie draft. So without further ado, Andrew, are you ready, man?
I'm ready. Let's get it going.
All right, so we talked about it before the show. I'm going to have the first pick in the startup draft. Andrew will have the first pick in the Dynasty rookie draft. So with the number 1 pick, I'm going to take what everybody's thinking. Give me your boy, Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, the best wide receiver in the league. Now, a lot of people are talking about Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson. Now, I feel like Jamar Chase does have a lot of talent, but with Joe Burrow being hurt, who's going to be throwing him the ball for the first couple weeks of the season? That's what I'm worried about, and that's why I think at the end of the day, Justin Jefferson is the safer bet. Him and Kirk Cousins have a good relationship. Yes, Adam Thielen is gone. They pick up Jordan Addison. KJ Osborne is back. He could be seeing a lot of double covers this season, but who cares? Justin Jefferson is Himothy. I like the pick here at 1. I think he's going to be great this season.
I like that pick, too. I think he's well-deserving at number 1. But I'm sitting at number 2, and I think I like Jamar Chase even better than Justin Jefferson. I would have taken him at number 1.
I love the pick, honestly. Like, he is the second pick in this draft, 100%. But again, yeah, that really scares me. Now, having Trevor Siemian as your starting quarterback for the first couple of weeks of the season is a little scary. But if D-Hop can make it work with Tom Savage and Brock Osweiler, I think Jamar Chase is going to be fine. So I like the pick there at 2. Andrew, you're back on the board with number 3. Who are you going to take there?
Number 3, I think I'm going to take the safest one, in my opinion. That's going to be Austin Eckler. I love Christian McCaffrey, but sometimes I have some injury questions with him. And while Eckler has had some injuries in his past, I think he's really focused on the field, and he's focused on fantasy too. He's made it well known that he loves fantasy and that he loves to help out his fantasy managers. So I'm taking that guy.
Austin Eckler is a great pick. And Austin Eckler is always going to put up numbers, especially if you're playing PPR. Now, he's not the running back that you would expect, but that dude catches balls and he scores touchdowns. And that's really, at the end of the day, all you care about in fantasy football. So Austin Eckler at the 3rd pick is good. Not the running back I would have taken, but I like the pick. So that leads me to number 4. And I'm going to go with CMC, Christian McCaffrey with the San Francisco 49ers. This guy gets injured literally every other season. But it's the risk for the reward. This guy, when he's on the field, is unstoppable. Absolutely unstoppable. He's going to go score touchdowns for you. And now, you have a quarterback situation in San Francisco. So what are you going to do? You're going to lean on your running back, feed him the ball, let him work. So Christian McCaffrey, you can't go wrong with him at number 4.
Yeah, I love that pick. Swiss Army knife team and quarterback-proof Christian McCaffrey. He's going to put up points no matter what.
So that leads me to the 5th pick. And I've seen people not even have this guy in the 1st round, which is absurd. People are scared of him because of what happened last year. But Cooper Kupp is a top 3 receiver in the NFL. And guess what? They literally have no one in Los Angeles at all. Matthew Stafford, there you go. They got Stetson Bennett. I mean, that's the only offensive weapons that you can think of when you think about this team. Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp. Cam Akers, I do not care. I don't want to hear about it. So when you have one player on your team who's pretty much the whole offense, yes, he's going to be seeing a lot of defenses targeting him during the games, but it's Cooper Kupp, man. He's going to make shit happen. Yes, he got injured last year, but I think he has the most upside this season if he stays healthy. All right, Andrew, so that leads the 6th pick to you.
Sixth pick, I'm going to go with another running back here. I think he is truly the biggest man I've ever seen run the football on a field. Derrick Henry, he's the king. I think Derrick Henry's going to be the rushing leader this year. He's going to catch a couple passes out of the backfield. You know, he gets one for at least 40 yards, 50 yards a year. But when it comes to PPR, non PPR, I love Derrick Henry either way. I think he's going to run hell out of the football. And when he gets to the goal line, he always gets those touches and those touchdowns. So I'm taking Derrick Henry.
Everyone always craps on Derrick Henry because they think the shelf life of a running back isn't that long. Guys, Derrick Henry is a different human being. Okay. He is the offense in Tennessee. And then you bring in DeAndre Hopkins, that's going to help Derrick Henry because then the defense is worried about DeAndre Hopkins as well. They're not just focused on stopping the run with Derrick Henry. I like Derrick Henry this year. And yes, oh my God, he turned 28 or 29, whatever it was. Who cares? Honestly, who cares? He's Derrick Henry. He's 6'2", 260 or whatever the hell he is. He's going to score touchdowns. He's going to run through defenses. And also, he plays in the AFC South. That means that he's going to put up 100 against the Indianapolis Colts twice, and he's going to put up 200 against the Houston Texans twice. So there you go. And that's 4 games out of the year that he's going to be going crazy in your fantasy league. I love the pick. Love the pick, Andrew. So who you got at 7?
7, I'm pretty torn here. A lot of fantasy drafts, mock drafts I'm seeing right now. They're taking the rookie, but I think I'm going to go with Travis Kelce here. I love the tight end position in fantasy. It's super important to me because you got to fill that space either way, and there's only a couple guys that's going to be able to get you consistent points. And Travis Kelce is that guy. Not only is he one of the best tight ends, he's one of the best receivers in the game. He's got Patrick Mahomes throwing to him. We all know who he is. So give me Travis Kelce here.
All right, so that leads me to my 8th pick. You just took a running back with Derrick Henry. Right now, the running backs off the board are Austin Eckler, CMC, and Derrick Henry. So give me a running back that could potentially be the best running back in the league this year. Talking about Nick Chubb from the Cleveland Browns. This guy's an absolute baller. Nick Chubb is going to take the pressure off of Deshaun Watson. I think, again, like Deshaun Watson last year didn't look the best when he was in games. So what do? You hand the ball off to Nick Chubb, get yourself that confidence, and Nick Chubb can break away, man. He really can. He's got the speed. He's got the strength. He's got a pretty decent offensive line there in Cleveland. So why can't you go wrong with Nick Chubb?
And Nick Chubb's going to get you guaranteed points, and he's catching a lot more passes during training camp and preseason. At least that's what we're hearing from reporters, too. So I think that's a big plus in PPR leagues.
All right, so number 9. Let's go down to Miami, Florida. I'm talking about the one, the only Cheetah, Tyreek Hill. Yes, Tua turned the ball over, is throwing him the ball, but who cares? Tyreek Hill last year with Jalen Waddle produced some of his best numbers he's had in his career. If he can stay healthy, I think it's a great safe pick there, wide receiver. I think at 9, if you can get him at 9, that's great because I've seen some drafts where he's going in the top 6. Andrew, you're up there at 10. We got 2 more picks to go in this first round, 12-team, 1 quarterback PPR mock draft.
Number 10, I'm going to go with the rookie, Bijan. We saw him at Texas. We know what he can do. He's coming in on a team that he is definitely going to be the number 1 guy. They need to start getting the ball to Kyle Pitts a little more, Drake London a little more, and that'll even open it up just that much more for him. Yeah, I'm going to take him here at 10. Some people are taking him a little earlier than that. Some people are taking him a little later, but I could see him being the number 1 back in an alternate universe by the end of the year.
All right, Andrew. So that leads us to our second to last pick in this mock draft. Who are you taking here, man?
You know what? I was going to take a running back here, but I think I'm going to play it safe and get another wide receiver. I think the wide receivers are going to be at a premium. Give me Stephon Diggs. I love the Bills. I love Josh Allen throwing to him. And I think he's going to eat this year just like he has every other year. He's a little disgruntled. I feel like every 2 months you hear something coming out of training camp or out of his corner. But I think everything's going to get cleared up by the time the season starts, and he's going to be ready to go.
I think the training camp talk was just a bunch of baloney, man, to be honest. Yeah, obviously he wants to get paid, but he's happy there in Buffalo, and they have the potential to win a Super Bowl this year, so why wouldn't you want to stay? I think him and Josh Allen have a great relationship. He's only gotten better while he's been there in Buffalo. And they lost Isaiah McKenzie, so that's a little bit less people in the wide receiving room. So who's Josh Allen going to look for? His right-hand man, Stephon Diggs. I like to pick at 11. I'm seeing a lot of drafts where he's going in the top 6, top 7, probably sitting around like the 5 to 8 range in some drafts. But if you're playing PPR, Stephon Diggs catches a lot of passes, and he also catches a lot of touchdowns, which who doesn't love that? So that leads me to the last pick in this mock draft. I was torn here because, again, you're hearing a lot of talk about people staying away from the running backs this year. You could take Saquon here at 12, but I'm taking a guy who I know is going to produce numbers, and he's scary explosive. Amon-Ra St. Brown from the Detroit Lions could have one of the best seasons in football this year. You look at his rookie year, he was averaging 13.4 points per game in PPR. Then he takes that jump the following year and does 16.7 points per game in PPR. By this rate, my boy could be averaging 19 or 20 points PPR this season. Why not take him? You got Jared Goff as your quarterback, who I like Jared Goff. I think he's an accurate thrower. And again, there's not really a lot of people in that wide receiving room. Jameson Williams is on the suspension. Yes, you have Marvin Jones coming back, and you also have Josh Reynolds. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, when he gets the ball in his hands, is explosive. He's got those big game plays that's going to help the team win at the end of the day. He can run the ball. He can line up in the backfield. He can catch screen passes. And again, he can moss anybody on the field. So Amon-Ra St. Brown with the 12th pick in the draft could be scary lethal in your season this year. So that was our 12-team first round, one quarterback PPR mock draft. Yes, that's a mouthful, but I thought it was a successful draft. Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section if you like the draft or not, and we would love to hear your feedback. So now we're going to go to our 12-team one quarterback dynasty rookie draft here. We're only going to be doing the first round, but we got 12 teams. Andrew's going to be on the board first. Dynasty leagues are kind of trending now in the fantasy football world. Andrew, have you been having a good time with your dynasty league?
Oh yeah, I love Dynasty, man. It just adds another aspect to the game. I love fantasy football at the core. And then just give you something to do, during the off season, kind of keep up with those players and kind of think more long term than short term. But when it comes to the rookie draft this year, there's a lot of intriguing players, but none more than the 101 on everybody's list, Bijan Robinson. He's the guy coming into Atlanta. He's the biggest name on the board. He's the biggest runner on the board. He's going to be the best runner on the board by the end of his career and the end of the season. Some people are saying he could be the rushing leader this year, and I can honestly see it. I'm not a huge fan of Atlanta's offense as a whole. But again, like I said, for the last draft, I think in an alternate universe, he could be number one overall this year. So I'm taking Bijan 101 for this year and for years to come.
Yeah, Bijan Robinson's a great pick, and it's pretty much the automatic pick. You'd look at Bijan Robinson, yes, he is the guy there. He's their lead running back. They also have Cordell Patterson. They also have Algier, but you got to look at your head coach. Arthur Smith, he worked with Derrick Henry in Tennessee. That was a very run-heavy offense. Last year, the Atlanta Falcons had a very run-heavy offense. They got a second-year quarterback in Desmond Ridder. What better way to get him developed into the game than handing the ball off to Bijan Robinson? I think the sky's the limit for Bijan Robinson this year. And if you can get him in PPR, standard, 12-team, 10-team, dynasty, non-dynasty, whatever, Bijan Robinson could be the best bang for your buck pick in any fantasy draft this year. He's definitely going number one if you're playing dynasty. So that leads me to the second pick in the draft, and it's been pretty much the two top picks in this draft are cemented. You got Bijan Robinson at 1. You have Jahmyr Gibbs at 2. Jahmyr Gibbs, obviously coming from Alabama. This dude is a dog. He's been working in the slot as a wide receiver for the Detroit Lions, which is another weapon for Jared Goff to throw to. So that's going to give you some PPR points as well. And again, you have David Montgomery in the backfield. I don't think David Montgomery is as good as Jahmyr Gibbs or has the upside as Jahmyr Gibbs. So I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be the number one running back heading into the season. I think with Detroit, you have a nice offense. You have a pretty solid offensive line. And you saw what DeAndre Swift could do behind that offensive line. Jahmyr Gibbs behind this offensive line could be lethal. Give me Jahmyr Gibbs at 2.
Yeah, I love that pick too. I think Jahmyr Gibbs, like you said, is the only sure thing in this other than Bijan Robinson. He's going to do very well at the Lions, whether it might not be this year, it could be in a couple years to come. Yeah, I love Jahmyr Gibbs here. It's never bad to bet on an Alabama running back.
All right, so that leads me to my third pick, which is actually where I'm drafting in my Dynasty League. You look at this, you're thinking, do you want to take a quarterback? Do you want to take that risk on a running back? There's just somebody I've been looking at since he came out of college and since he played this one Rose Bowl game against Utah where he went off for 300 plus yards. Guys, I'm talking about Jackson Smith and Jigba. Jackson Smith and Jigba with Geno Smith as his quarterback, with Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf as his right-hand man. This guy could absolutely explode this season. When you're learning behind two experienced, great, proven wide receivers in the NFL, like Tyler Lockett, like DK Metcalf, when you have the talent and you're learning from these great wide receivers, you're just going to keep on getting better. And as the slot guy, Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to be seeing some of the worst corners on teams. I mean, he's going to get open, guys. So if you're playing PPR, Jackson Smith and Jigba is the guy. I like him at 3. Andrew, you're up at 4. Who are you taking?
Number 4, I'm going to go with another skill position here. I've seen him a little lower on a lot of mock drafts than I think he should be. But at number 4, I'm going to take Quentin Johnston. I love the situation that he's in. Like you said previously, with JSN, he's going to be able to learn from experienced receivers. He's got Mike Williams teaching him, my favorite Clemson guy. He's got Keenan Allen teaching him, who's a veteran in the league, who's also very underrated, by the way, this year coming into fantasy drafts. But anyway, I think Quentin Johnson is going to be a fantastic player in the future. Again, this is a dynasty rookie draft, so I'm not picking this for this year, maybe even next year. But again, I think in 3-4 years, he's going to be a great asset to my team.
Yeah, I think Quentin Johnson, the only thing that really worries me about Quentin is the way he catches the ball. He's a really big body catcher. He's not really going with the hands. But again, whatever works sometimes. So when you're learning behind two veterans, I think it could work out for Quentin Johnson. And you have Justin Herbert throwing you the ball. That doesn't hurt. That doesn't hurt at all.
Number 5, I'm going to go. I love skill positions here, especially in one QB dynasty leagues. I'm going to go Jordan Addison from my Minnesota Vikings. I love the way Jordan Addison plays. He's that short, quick guy. And when you have Justin Jefferson on the other side of the ball, you got TJ Hawkinson, as your tight end on the team, that's going to open up a lot for him. So give me Jordan Addison here.
I like Jordan Addison a lot. I really do. And again, you have Justin Jefferson, you have TJ Hawkinson, you have KJ Osborne. Somebody's going to be getting open because they can't keep up with all those receivers, and Jordan Addison is that guy. He looked good in preseason week 1. He was the guy at USC. I think it's a great pick. And again, if KJ Osborne moves on and you have Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison as your 2, in the future, that looks very, very good. All right, so we're running out of time here, so we're going to speed up a little bit. At number 6, I got the 6th pick in this draft. Man, you took Jordan Addison from me. I was going to take him there. But let's go with Zay Flowers. Again, another wide receiving core that needs a guy. Odell Beckham Jr. is your big signing. Rashad Bateman still hasn't broken out yet, and you're trying to get Lamar Jackson some pieces. This guy was so explosive at Boston College. When I saw his tape, I knew this guy was going to be special. Now, rookie wide receivers, yeah, they're a little scary, but again, you think about the future in Dynasty, Zay Flowers with Lamar Jackson is a crazy duo. This guy's a gadget guy. He gets open. He's fast. He's shifty. He could be the next Tyreek Hill in the NFL. So that leaves me with my 7th pick here. And guys, everybody knows that I'm an Indianapolis Colts fan. Okay, this isn't biased at all, but this guy has the most potential I've ever seen in a quarterback ever. I'm talking about Anthony Richardson coming out of Florida. This guy is an actual alien. Okay, 6'4", 240, can throw the ball and hit the ceiling. You saw in preseason week 1, this guy's got a cannon. Yes, if you want to see some stats, maybe our offensive line needs to get a little better, but he can run. He's super fast. He's so raw. He's so raw. And that's what we need to do is in Indianapolis, you just got to play the guy. So Anthony Richardson at 7, it could be the best pick you've ever made in Dynasty.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson is the riskiest pick out here. But as the most athletic quarterback since Cam Newton, like you said, I think he's got nowhere to go but up. I've seen some people be taking him right behind Bijan Robinson.
All right, Andrew, you're up here. Let's we got 4 minutes left, so let's go crazy.
With the 8th pick, I'm going to go with Bryce Young here. I think it's a coin toss between CJ Stroud and Bryce Young as the next quarterback after Richardson. But give me Bryce Young. I am a Clemson fan, so I'm a little bit biased against CJ Stroud. So with 9, I'm going to go with Josh Downs, another wide receiver for the Colts. I love me some Josh Downs coming out of Carolina. He had, a couple good quarterbacks throwing to him, but I think Josh Downs is the real deal. I've seen him play in person multiple times. He's fast, he's quick, and he's going to work with Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor. But yeah, I think Josh Downs is going to be the real deal.
I like Josh Downs in preseason week 1. He looked really good, really explosive. And again, we need that shifty guy. We got too many tall, lanky dudes playing on our team. You got that shifty guy out there. He's going to make some moves and get open. Number 10, I'm going to go with another Seattle guy. Give me Zach Charbonnet. Kenny Walker is very, very good. I love Kenny Walker, but Kenny Walker has some injury problems. Zach Charbonnet, he's had a little bit of injury problems as well. But when you're going deep in this dynasty, I think Zach Charbonnet can really be that guy. That leads me to number 11 here. Devin A-Chain for the Miami Dolphins. This guy is freaky fast, man. And this team is already fast enough, so that's pretty scary. You got Tyreek Hill, you got Jalen Waddle. Now you have Raheem Mostert and Devin A-Chain in the backfield. That's pretty spooky. Don't forget about Jeff Wilson as well. That guy's a dog. Same last name as me, too. I love it. Raheem Mostert has those injury risks, so Devin A-Chain could be getting the ball sooner or later. I like the pick, and I feel like he could be the number 1 there this season. So that leads us to the last pick of this mock draft. Andrew, who are we taking?
Last pick, I'm going to go with tight end. I value the tight end position a little higher than most, I believe, but I'm going to go Dalton Kincaid. Pretty much the same reason I took Stephon Diggs earlier. Just I love the Bills. I love that offense. And I think Josh Allen will find a way to get him the ball, whether he's a rookie or not.
I love Dalton Kincaid. He looked great at Utah, and he had a really good quarterback in Cameron Rising. Now he's got one of the best quarterbacks in the league in Josh Allen. If Dalton Kincaid can get open, this guy has unlimited potential. I've seen games where he's gone over 200 plus yards, 15 plus catches. Like, it's absolutely insane. When you have Stephon Diggs, you have Gabe Davis, you throw in Dalton Kincaid into the mix, it could be very scary. So that is it for our 2 mock drafts. If you guys agree with anything or disagree, please leave it down in the comment section. Also, if you like the video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe here at KPD Sports Media. We will see you next week.